What if your home could heal you? Not just shelter you, but actually reduce your cortisol levels, improve your sleep, and make you feel at peace the moment you walk in door. Today, we are going to show you exactly how to build that home and how to finance it without destroying your financial life. Whether you're renting, buying, or dreaming, this video is complete blueprint. So first, let us go to part one, that is ESG benchmark homes and trophy assets. So the real estate world is shifting. So welcome to the era of ESG benchmark homes. E for environmental, S for social, G for governance. So these aren't just luxury buzzwords. They are the properties that hold their value, appreciate fastest, and are becoming the gold standard for smart investors and end users alike. A trophy asset in real estate is a property that checks the hardest boxes: prime location, architectural significance, superior materials, sustained design, and long term relevance. Think IGBC rated buildings, green certified townships, projects with rainwater harvesting, solar integration, and low emission construction. Why does this matter for you? Is because a trophy ESG asset doesn't just give you a better lifestyle, it gives you a stronger resale position, lower utility bills, and alignment with the future of urban living in India. Coming to part two, that is homes that heal. The Vastu plus wisdom plus modern design. So, now let's talk about the concept that ties this whole video together: homes that heal. So, for thousands of years, Vastu Shastras has guided Indian home design with one core insight. Your physical environment directly affects your mental, physical, and spiritual health. Today, modern neuroscience backs this up completely. What does a healing home look like? First, natural light. First, the research confirms that homes with abundant natural light reduce depression, improve sleep cycles, and boost vitamin D. Vastu's east facing entrance isn't superstition, it's morning sunlight science. Second, airflow and biophilia. So, cross ventilation, indoor plants, and natural materials like wood, stone, and cotton regulate humidity and reduce airborne toxins. Biophilic design, the deliberate inclusion of nature in your living space, is the single most powerful design upgrade you can make under 50,000. Third is the psychology of your space. So, your subconscious reads every room before you consciously process it. So, low ceilings create anxiety, clutter creates cortisol, clean sight lines create calm. So, a healing home is not expensive, it is intentional. Next, we have color, texture, light, and spatial agreement. So, if you see, okay, so let's break down the four pillars of psychological interior design. So, the colors are emotional language your brain speaks before words. So, deep greens and sage tones lower heart rate and ideal for bedrooms and study spaces. Warm terracotta and earthy yellows stimulate appetite and warmth, perfect for dining areas. And blues and whites create calm and clarity, great for workspaces and bathrooms. So avoid aggressive reds in sleeping areas and use them as asset only. The rule is 60% dominant neutral tone, 30% complementary tone, and 10% statement accent color. So texture, coming to texture, see that like touch is processed emotionally. So rough jute rugs signal grounding, smooth linens signals rest, and unpolished stone signals luxury meets nature. So layering textures, rough and smooth, matte and gloss, create richness that no paint alone can achieve. And if you ask me about light, then use three layers of light in every room: ambient light, the base layer, ceiling lights or natural. And then coming to the task light, it should be focused, like reading lamp, kitchen counter light, and all. And third is accent light, it's emotional, so LED strips behind a shelf, a warm Edison bulb corner, etc. So never rely on a single overhead tube light, it flattens the room and raises anxiety. Coming to space arrangement, keep pathways clear. So at least 3 feet between furniture pieces, and anchor furniture to walls, not floating in the center. And identify one statement corner per room, a curated focal point with a plant, lamp, and one piece of art or meaningful object. Build this corner with intention so it becomes the emotional anchor of the room. Come, coming to part 4, that is amenities, thoughtful furniture, and natural beauty. So, coming to this, amenities are not just about the gym in the basement. True home amenities are micro experiences built into your daily living. So consider these: a small herb garden on your windowsill. It's sensory, purposeful, and costs around 500. And a reading nook with a low bookshelf, floor cushion, and a warm lamp. So this is more valuable to your mental health than a Netflix subscription. And a balcony with one plant and one chair. This is your urban escape. And when choosing furniture, avoid oversized furniture in small flats. It creates visual and psychological crowding. And choose furniture that serves two purpose where possible. An ottoman with storage, a dining table that extends, and invest in one quality piece per room rather than filling every corner cheaply. A solid wood coffee table in a room of minimal furniture creates more peace than a room stuffed with MDF shelves. So, natural beauty is stability. Vastu understood this, and when you can see sky, touch wood, smell earth, and hear water, your nervous system softens. And modern apartments can simulate this with intentional design. So, don't cut corners, build layers. And next, we'll be going to rent versus buy. Our next section, the real math for India. So, now let's get into the money conversation. So, the question everyone asks, should I rent or should I buy? The honest answer, it depends, but not on what most people think. So, here's the real framework. When renting makes sense, if you ask me when renting makes sense, means if you're in a city for less than 5 years and your income is growing rapidly and you'll upgrade soon, and the property you want requires an EMI above 40% of your income, and if the area has high rental yield, meaning buying there is overpriced relative to what you'd pay in rent, then renting makes sense. And when buying makes sense is that you plan to stay 7+ years in the same city, you have found a property where EMI is less than or equal to comparable rent, and you have a 20 to 30% down payment without depleting your emergency fund, and also the property is in a location with genuine appreciation trajectory. And the rent to cost ratio test, so if annual rent for a property is less than 3% of its purchase price, the property is overpriced relative to rent. So you'd be overpaying to own. Example, a flat worth 1 crore, then 3% is equal to 3 lakhs per year. So which is equal to 25,000 per month. So if market rent is 20,000, it's cheaper to rent. If market rent is 35,000, it may make sense to buy. So run this math before any decision. Okay. So now after so much of gnan on rent versus buy and the finance thing, now let's jump into our next section, which is also very important, that is home loans. So home loans are powerful tools, but they come with costs and most buyers discover too late. So first is loss of tax benefits on prepayment. Under section 24B, you get up to rupees 2 lakh deduction on home loan interest per year. Sounds great. Until you realize the more you prepay, the less interest you pay, the less tax benefit you get, and in early years of a loan, almost your entire EMI is interest. So this is also when your tax benefit is maximum. So as your principal reduces, so does your benefit. And many people rush to prepay without calculating this trade-off. Second is opportunity cost of down payment. So the moment or the money you put as down payment, say rupees 20 lakhs, could have compounded at 12% CAGR in equity markets. Over 10 years, that's potentially 62 lakh. Does your property appreciation match that? Always model the opportunity cost. Third is hidden costs at disbursement. So stamp duty is 5 to 8% of property value. Registration is 1%. GST under construction is 5%. Maintenance deposit 1 to 2 years upfront. Society formation charges 1 to 3 lakhs, and interior 5 to 15 lakhs minimum. So at rupees 1 crore property can cost rupees 1.2 to 1.3 crores all in before you have put one piece of furniture inside. Coming to rate risk, that is the float rate loans. Most home loans in India are linked to repo rate. So 2% repo rate hike increases your EMI by 10 to 15% or extends tenure significantly. Always stress test your EMI at plus 2% rate before signing. Next, next let's come to PMAY subsidy scheme. So the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is urban is one of the most underutilized financial tools available to first time home buyers in India. So who qualifies this is EWS, the annual income up to rupees 3 lakhs, interest subsidy of 6.5%, LIG annual income 3 to 6 lakhs, interest subsidy of 6.5%, and MIG 1 of annual income 6 to 12 lakhs, and interest subsidy of 4%, and MIG 2 is annual income of 12 to 18 lakhs, interest subsidy of 3%. So how it works is the subsidy is applied to the principal upfront, and meaning your effective loan amount reduces, and on a rupees 30 lakh loan in MIG1 you could save rupees 2.35 lakhs in present value terms. So key conditions are that you must be first time home buyer, no property in your name or spouse's name, and the property size limits apply by category, and must apply through an empaneled bank or NBFC, and the property must be in a notified area. So if you are a young professional buying your first home, check your eligibility before choosing your loan. The savings can be substantial. Now let us move to part 8, that is the rental agreements. So now let's talk about renting. So and the legal mistakes that cost people lakhs every year. So coming to security deposit, this is the first thing. So standard in Indian cities is 2 to 10 months rent. Bangalore leads with 10 months, which means on a 25K per month flat, you're paying 2.5 lakhs upfront just to move in. This money earns zero interest and is frequently withheld. So always get deposit conditions in writing. What qualifies as damage must be defined. Next, we have lock-in periods. So most leases have a 6 to 12 month lock-in. So if you vacate early, you forfeit your deposit or pay rent for the remaining lock-in period. Negotiate this down to 3 months whenever or wherever possible and add a break clause. Coming to notice period, standard is 1 to 3 months. So make sure both tenant and landlord have symmetric notice obligations. So if you give 1 month notice but landlord gives you can give 24 hours, that's a legal imbalance. Coming to rent escalation, most agreements include an annual escalation clause. So typically 5.5 to 10%. So on a 30K rent, 10% escalation means 39.930, like 39,930 by year 3. So ask for this to be capped or tied to CPI. Now coming to additional charges, watch for vague terms like maintenance charges, society charges, parking charges that are undefined. So specify every possible charge in writing. Who pays what and how. Next, we have make it legally valid. So register your agreement, and 11-month unregistered agreement is common but technically invalid in court. So for anything beyond 12 months, registration is mandatory. So pay the stamp duty, typically 500 to 2000, and register. It protects both parties. And coming to Lunawada Palace Files reference, named after famous Lunawada Palace land dispute case, a reminder that even heritage properties with clean files can have title disputes, encroachments, and competing inheritance claims. So always conduct a 30-year title search through a property lawyer before purchasing any property, and urban or rural, and new or resale. Okay, so now let us move on to next part. So coming to next part, that is finding your EMI and your comfort zone. So coming to finding your EMI. Okay, so and coming to this, I would say that mm, please be very informed about your EMIs. Sorry. So what I would say is this section could save you from 20 years of financial stress. So, the single most important question before buying a house isn't how much can the bank approve? It's how much EMI can I comfortably pay for next 20 years? So, these are very different questions. So, the 30 to 35% rule, coming to your total EMI obligations, home loan plus any car loan, personal loan, education loan should not exceed 30 to 35% of your net monthly take home income. So not gross, net. So after tax, after PF, after all deductions. Example, gross CTC is 12 lakh per annum. Net take home is 75,000 per month and safe EMI ceiling is 22,500 to 26,250 per month. So why bank approval means nothing? So banks will approve up to 50 to 60% of gross income as EMI. And they are selling a product approving 40,000 EMI on 75,000 take home leaves you 35 on 75,000 take home leaves you 35,000 for rent, so if applicable. Food, transport, insurance, parent support, child education, and emergencies also should be covered under that 35,000. So, do the math honestly. Ask yourself, can I pay this EMI comfortably for 20 years, including during a job loss, a medical emergency, or a pay freeze? Okay. Next, we'll be having the tenure strategy. So longer tenure is equal to lower EMI but much higher total interest paid. So shorter tenure is equal to higher EMI but significantly lower total cost. The smart play is take a longer tenure for breathing room but prepay aggressively in years 1 to 5 when your income grows. So every rupee 1 lakh prepaid in 3 years saves you rupees 2 to 4 lakhs in interest over the remaining tenure. Coming to expenses, buyers ignore. So post purchase interior work 5 to 20 lakhs. Annual maintenance charges are 30K to 1 lakh. Property tax are 10 to 50K per year. Home insurance is 5 to 15K per year. And painting every 5 to 7 years is like 50 to 2 lakh. 50K to 2 lakhs. So emergency repair fund also will be there like 1% of property value per year. So budget all of this before deciding your EMI ceiling. Come and now coming to the interest rates matter more than you think, because at 8.5% on 50 lakhs for 20 years, total interest paid is equal to 56.5 lakhs more than the loan itself. So at 9.5%, total interest is equal to 66.7 lakhs. That 1% difference is equal to 10 lakh over 20 years. Now negotiate hard for the lowest rate. Ask your existing bank for a loyalty discount. Consider a balance transfer in your rate is above market by 0.5% or more. Okay, so after carefully considering all these hidden costs, also like being more, so see these all and because I would say that uh, see the four cost buyers often misses that stamp duty and registration fees, maintenance and property taxes, loan processing and legal fees, and home insurance and utility setup charges. Coming to the closing part. So, a home is the largest purchase most of us will ever make. So, it is also the space where we grieve, recover, love, create, and grow. So, it deserves to be both financially sound and emotionally nourishing. So, I'll say don't cut corners, build layers. So, in your interior design, see that in your financial planning and also in your legal due diligence. A home that heals doesn't happen by accident, it happens by intention. And so, see all the lightning design principles which I have said to you, and also all the design layering for the timeless homes. See the layering color, texture, light, curated amenities, because they create the interiors with lasting appeal, and the quality materials and thoughtful details which elevate every space from ordinary to extraordinary. And also the statement corner and lightning guides like use lightning to highlight architectural features and focal points, and combine ambient, task, and ascent lighting for complete mood control. And also the statement corners create personalized focal points that elevates the entire room. So that's it for the day. So if this video helped you, share it with someone who's about to sign a rental agreement or take a home loan, and subscribe for more content that takes your money and your quality of life seriously. So this like Shiv Shakti VSP channel and your home is waiting. So yeah, so yeah, done for the day, and I think you also got lot of gyan from this. And thank you for watching and happy livings. Please do like, share, and subscribe and comment too. Thank you. See you in next video. Tata. Goodbye.